To the outside world, Lil Nas X lives in an untouchable stratosphere of pop stardom. His lyrics paint a picture of effortless wealth, boasting about cruising down Rodeo Drive and speeding around in Maserati sports cars. The public persona is draped in diamonds, Fendi, and absolute confidence. But behind the platinum plaques, the reality is starkly different. As his career exploded, he was battling severe anxiety attacks, deeply terrified of fading away as a one-hit wonder, all while living in a completely unfurnished house. From the moment he debuted, there was an intense, unspoken pressure surrounding his sexuality. Being a young, queer black man blending country and rap meant navigating a minefield of societal expectations and systemic prejudice. Inside his own head, he was fighting a lifelong, hardwired trap of perfectionism. He genuinely believed that if he made a single mistake, he would have to quit music entirely. Facing the prospect of a career cut short by his own fear, he chose a radical path. He began to treat his own identity like a structural blueprint, deliberately designing a version of himself robust enough to survive the spotlight. He wanted to access creative and psychological spaces that no one had ever reached before. So he took that paralyzing fear of failure and weaponized it. He turned his anxiety into a frantic mathematical obsession. If you succeed once or twice, you have to prove you can do it a third time, a fourth, all the way to 10, and the pressure compounds. He found himself mentally projecting hits into the 20s, 50s, 80, 90, 100, just to convince his own brain that he was secure. The starting line for this overwhelming pressure was Old Town Road. That massive collaboration with Billy Ray Cyrus set a nearly impossible standard to beat. Suddenly, he is a highly anxious kid, tasked with commanding massive, sold-out arenas. The physical scale of the crowds was staggering compared to the quiet panic of his internal world. And that obsessive drive became the high-octane engine required to launch his next, far more dangerous public transformation. Enter the Montero era. He made a conscious decision to stop living in the dark and completely abandon pretending to be anyone else. When critics labeled him a satanic devil for his queer expression, he absorbed their hate and weaponized it, placing himself squarely in the center of empowering, highly visible, and highly controversial imagery. His lyrics became a masterclass in extreme juxtaposition. He mixed graphic, unapologetic descriptions of queer sexuality right next to raw acknowledgments of God shining on him, and he broadcasts these deliberate provocations on the highest stakes cultural platforms available. He drew continuous inspiration from peers like Bad Bunny, who were also taking massive public risks by defying traditional gender expectations on stage. Yet behind the bravado of the Montero spectacle, there was a raw, aching loneliness. Tracks like That's What I Want revealed a simple, exhausting desire for genuine connection and a partner to hold at night. He took that radical honesty straight to his roots. He challenged his family's homophobia directly, walking out in front of them wearing a skirt, forcing the uncomfortable conversations to happen in real time. His music and his public persona operate as calculated tools. They are a crowbar prying open the closed minds of his family and his audience, forcing everyone to evolve alongside him. Which brings us back to that empty, unfurnished house. He actively refuses to buy couches or dining tables because he harbors a profound fear of settling. To him, a fully furnished house implies a static, unchangeable identity, a state of being done that he finds terrifying. This constant state of flux leaves him feeling like an outsider, even among Hollywood royalty. He talks about meeting icons like Viola Davis in grocery stores and assuming they have no idea who he is. That internal imposter syndrome stands in direct contrast to the reality of the music industry's highest external validation. He is inherently allergic to being perfect. He admits to actively wanting chaos, seeking out things to complain about and fix because it gives him raw material to shape. Lil Nas X treats identity as a permanent construction site. He keeps the rooms empty and the walls unfinished because he finds a rare kind of agency in the act of being a work in progress, the courage to endlessly build and rebuild himself.